Hello again. This is Saturday, July 31st, 2021. I am having an awesome Saturday. Thank you. Welcome to the Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine show. I am your host, Camila, aka Sunshine. Again, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. Like and share. Again, it's Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine. I am on Spotify as well, the same name of the show. I am on GrooveRadioDetroit.com, which is the radio show. And also, I am on Facebook Live at Sunshine Camila, Kamela. I have a great guest, another great guest that's about to come on shortly. Also, I just got off with the gospel artist Latisse Crawford. We had an awesome time. Please go back and watch that and the replay. Since this show has been in existence, I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You are one person away, one advice away, one help away, or where you need to be in your destiny. It has been proven over and over again. Also, today I'm going to have another show come on at 7 o'clock tonight. Please tune in for that one as well. It will be with Miss Courtney Moore, and I named it The Sound, and you'll find out why. And shortly, I will have my friend um, Duane Childress come on. And me and Duane have been friends for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. And he will be on shortly in just a moment. I hope you guys are enjoying this Michigan weather today. It kind of cooled off compared to what we've been dealing with, as well as all of this rain. So I hope you guys are out and about while you can. I have been in here with the shows preparing for this wonderful conversations that we're going to have. So I'm super excited. Like I said before, I had to take some time off to take care of my first ministry, which is my husband. And my family went out of town and we had an awesome, fun time. Our first vacation of the year. And I recommend that everybody be able to go out and enjoy your family, whatever that may be, or just to get together. Again, on my previous show, um, one of my nephews was being buried today in Alabama, Jonathan Grimmett. So I wanted to give a shout out to the Grimmett family, the McLeod family, for the loss of their grandson, their nephew, their son. Also, a couple of my cousins had birthdays this weekend. So I want to give a shout out to them as well. Life as we know it is no longer normal, but we have to be in a place of adapting what the new norm looks like. And so my new norm is all about my family. Um, Life we can no longer take for granted. And so, whatever that means for you, I strongly advise you to take heed to that. 1 minute we could be here today and go on literally in the next hour. Um, so many things have been going on, so much um, violence and things going on in the earth that nothing that we thought that was unheard of, things like this is happening on a day-to-day basis. But in that, God still gives us grace, God still gives us mercy and peace if you want it. So I think my friend has arrived.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Let me figure out what's going on here. Can you see me now?
I can't see you.
What about
Now I
now?
can see you.
Okay. I had to come out to the car. I ain't gonna be able to hear it now with them kids. You know how that is.
Okay, hold on for a second.
All right.
Okay, now talk. Let me see if I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All
All
right,
good?
so I am great. So I did my intro. Now I'm gonna tell the world how we know each other. So today, you guys, this is my friend I have known since sixth grade. Is that
Yep.
right? Sixth grade.
Yep.
We went to Rosa Parks Middle School together, and we have been friends over the years. And this is Duane Childress.
Hello, hello. What's going on? Y'all all right now?
So, Duane has been one of those guys that I've known for years that I knew that he was going to be something. He was very intelligent. And because of his uniqueness in uh, in those times, we will say, the class clown, all of this different stuff like that. He was always the comedian, and things of that nature. I just knew some way, somehow, that he was gonna make it in the world. So, time has passed, and over time, we have our moments where we're trying to find ourselves. And sometimes in finding ourselves, we have put ourselves in some really hard situations and experiences.
Great.
Um, and from those moments, when I uh, got back in touch with him, we have found out some different things that we both had to go through. Um, and he was into music. He's still into music. He's what's your stage name?
Wayne Drastic.
So a couple of my friends actually knows who he is by the music world. And he's been there, done that, seen some things. And are you talking to the dog?
Yes. He
So
trying to
I'm
get
gonna
you
let
all
him
right.
talk.
You no,
He's
you
making
good. I
these
just
faces.
waited
I'm
on
like, is he talking to the dog? What is you doing?
yeah, the dog is trying to get, he feel he's more important than all of us. You are good though. He just keep jumping on the door.
So what has been? Let's go with what are some of the things that you have learned, some life lessons that you have learned. I guess growing up until now.
Well, first of all, most praise to the Most High. You can't do nothing without him. I realize if your mind, body, and soul and spirit are not connected and in line, and you have believe in a higher power, and not only have a belief for that higher power, but some work behind that faith in order to manifest things. I definitely keep that number one. Second of all, communication. I learned communication. You never can get it right. There's no such thing as real solid communication unless some implementing of writing or some syllabus type thing is put down where you know what's going on because people grow every second of the day. People mind is always moving, people thoughts change, situation changes. So this always make communication changes. So I learned to always write things down, especially when you're trying to get it done and certain things that excuse me, sir, that's not gonna exist, maybe change just like I said, come to the future. You always want to make note of those things.
Oh,
Something else I learned too. Romance is dying. Bring back romance.
you said bring back romance?
Yeah, romance is man. I mean, everything is pretty much done. for picture purposes to show the next person, look, we did that. Instead of like intimacy is changed, the forming a little name. I mean, I can call on to that. That's kind of another conversation. But I mean, like, people used to have to come over your house and sit on your couch and see your photo book, to know who your family was, where you been, and everything like that. That was a form of intimacy. Now with the internet, it's just thrown all over the place. So it's just more or less what it might have been a nice Friday night at Bella for you and your spouse a quiet ride. Now that ain't the thing. Now you got to go somewhere that's picture worthy. So I mean, it's kind of changing. But mainly those main two, I stick with those. Of course, it's more, but you'll have me talking all day on that
Right. So you might have to bring your phone closer to you. I don't know what you're doing with your voice, because
the volume.
I
Okay.
can't really. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I'll lean in a little bit, and I can speak up.
Mhm. So
Okay. Good.
you have 3, 4 kids.
Do I have four? Yeah, I got 4 kids, three
Okay.
girls and a boy. My son is 23, 13-year-old, 12-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
And so I told them before that, especially when it comes to my friends that are black males, um, or males in general, I had to make sure that I changed the narrative of what's being said about males, that they're out there taking care of their kids, that they're working, they're doing whatever needs to be done to make sure that they're not in the streets, or selling drugs and all that stuff. Now, yes, I know
Right.
some people like that, but my responsibility as this platform is to make sure that we see and know face to face, by name, who is out here taking care of business. Now, I've known you, and I know that you take care of your kids to the best of your ability. Now, I labeled the show with you, yes, it happened. And you're probably wondering, what did I mean by yes, it happened? Sometimes we, as society, we always hear the women's side of abuse, and that's what we roll with. But we
Right.
never thought in a million years that males are being abused too.
Right.
So I know, because we're talking, a situation happened recently that, but before we even get to that, we want to get into how we have talked and said, we have come to the realization that because of your heart, you have enabled your former partner from being all that she can be. Do you agree to that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I found every relationship could have that. It's always going to be somebody that's doing better than the next, but it's not about who making the most or whatever. Just sometimes in line with what I was saying, with romance. Sometimes you want to reassure a person that you got their back, so you would require for them to do as less as possible in certain moments. I mean, I'm even like that with coworkers, and especially just females in general. You tend to take the lead. I feel if you call yourself any kind of man and you functional, you would do more things to see your woman in a more comfortable position, to do things that she's comfortable with doing, and not too much labor and stuff that's manly. I would consider, and which a lot of women have to do these days. It's just not lesbian type thing. Is where women have to live male type lives to sustain their own well being. So I mean, that's just a society, man. So I feel if you're in a relationship, why continue to live like a single person would have to, when you're a woman on your grind. So some certain loads should be taken off.
So, the woman that we're talking about is the mother of 3 of your children, or 2?
Well, see, I mean, I can't just pinpoint her. She's 3, but I can't just pinpoint her. This is a problem I've been having in my relationships for a while now, prior to her. It's just how you cater to people. Sometimes people get comfortable in that position.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I mean, like that, I couldn't sit here and just blame a woman for per se getting comfortable being spoiled. Anybody would. You know what I mean? Male love female. Like, hey, my girl got that. I ain't never got to do that. A man gonna kick back. That's just what it is. With comfort. So I find like I had these issues prior before this relationship, so I can't just pick on her. It's a little more tighter on her because we have to. My previous relationships only with my son's mother, which I was married to in my first relationship. We didn't have those issues. She's 10 years older than me. She was on her game when she met me. So I was the one that needed to pick it up. I was a young fella when she met me. So I mean, it's like an even yoke balance. You know what I mean? So I can't particularly when I look at that, I can't pinpoint it and say that young lady did this or this young lady. It's part of my habits on which some people can grow comfortable and expecting you to do certain things consistent. Even if you rain, hail, sleet, and snow, if you got COVID or not, they expect you usually do that. I mean, it's like, yo, I'm on my deathbed. How can I do it? You know what I mean? But I mean, somebody gets so used to it, then they don't pay it no mind.
Okay, so um, what he's talking about is basically um the unsaid said things in certain relationships. There's things that we
Right.
have learned, there's things that we saw growing up that we'd pick and choose, and we'll make this relationship or try to make things work, right? So we'll see
Right.
something that we love in our relationships with our parents, what we see on TV, what we hear in music, what we have experienced as our own. When this didn't work, we'll make it and adapt to the next person to see if this is going to work. Um, there's sometimes in relationships, like my single friends that I have, I'll be like, oh, listen, before you get into trying to say I do, we need a whole conversation about the ifs. When this happens,
Mm-hmm.
what you gonna do if this happens? What are you and we get stuck into this fairy tale of what relationships are. Like you said when you first came on about romance or intimacy, or as my parents would say, or you have said courting. I said, you 40 something, you still say courting. And so
Yeah, I still use the old school terms.
so some of these things is not said anymore. They don't even say. They probably don't. You be saying courting. They think you talking about a basketball court or something like that. Like no,
Right,
the basics of communication, talking, asking questions. Stop assuming. Assuming is gonna
right,
get you in trouble.
right,
And so again, I have known him. I know his personality. I know what he's capable of doing. And sometimes when we get in these relationships with the opposite sex, we get so involved. Things happen. You have children with them, and then all of a sudden, what was there from the jump becomes obvious to us, and it's too late. So what
right.
am I saying? This happened.
You saying, all right, go ahead.
This happened. So I get a call and he like, man, you're not gonna believe what happened to me. I'm like, what? You ain't see on Facebook? I said, no, what you talking about? I was out here asking for bail money and this. I said, bail money for what? What is you talking about? He said, I was in jail because my, do we say baby mama? What do you say?
I said my child's mother. My baby
Okay,
mama's
she called the police on
children.
me because I told her I was gonna hit her with an axe because she was basically cussing, doing all this crazy stuff in front of the kids. I didn't raise my hand, I didn't do nothing, I didn't, and I just said, if you don't cut it out, I'm gonna hit you with an axe. And she called the police on me. They took him to jail, and um, thank God, favor was shown. And because he didn't have any, I mean, of course, you can bring character weaknesses, you can have all of these things. He didn't have anything on his record to say.
I actually do. I do. That's what made it
You
worse. I
tell the
do got
story.
a. I mean, no, you pretty much sounded up. I mean, it's just bottom line. The story, you summed the story up. A lot of people don't even know with arguing, making threats. Boy, I'm gonna hit you upside your head. If I call the police and say you did that, that is a threat. If you say you're gonna do something with a weapon, so I take this broom and knock you over your head, that's a felonious assault. Just that simple. All it takes is somebody to say you said it. They'll figure out whether or not you said it and whether you're serious about it later in court. But you're going to jail. So I mean, like in that type situation, that's just my message to anybody. The tongue is still a powerful thing. They say the internet a bad boy. No, it's watch what you say to people because they tell the wrong person you said this, you're gonna be spending money proving that you did or proving that you didn't mean it. You're just in the moment saying whatever. And I mean, in that case and scenario, you got someone with we've been bumping heads for a while. I would say that. Then she has some outside issues, um, stirring up to where, yeah, somebody gonna have to pay. So when it came line for me to say that, she wasn't buying it. All she did was pick up the phone, and I was up out of here quick. And I mean, it can happen to a male or female. It's just the same thing. Domestic violence is a misdemeanor. Put it like this: I would have been better off slapping her than saying something like that. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. The tongue is still more powerful than the hand. You get a misdemeanor for hitting somebody, or saying, "Hey, I'm gonna hit you with the broom." You get a felony. Which one do you want?
Wait, wait,
I
wait,
would
wait.
say neither.
So just because
Yeah,
I threaten somebody to say I'm gonna hit you with something or whatever, I can get a felony. So if me
felonious assault.
actually hitting them, I would get a misdemeanor. Are you
Yes,
kidding
domestic
me?
violence. I'm not kidding. See, the thing is about it. I mean, I'm spinning around. I don't detail for detail as far as what happened. I can sum that up. That's not the issue. It's a learning lesson behind this. Because we as black people, we'll tell a kid, "Hey, stop before I grab this vacuum and knock your head off." And we just play. But if a Karen or somebody hear that and say you said that, you're going to jail. They ain't gotta say you swung nothing. You ain't gotta did it. Do it. This is the whole thing with bumping heads and communication and arguing. Yeah, we as black people, we get used to certain shit being said to us. It's like, hey, my mama knocked my head off, knocked me to the moon. You know how many times she done told me that? So that's nothing. You know what I mean? But just in society, it is. You can't talk like that. And I mean, I found out the rough way. So I mean, and of course, when you first get caught up, you're looking at it like, oh, fuck this chick, she did that, or this person did that to get me here. But you got to ask yourself, how did I get here? How did I? What do I got to do with my own equation of trouble? And then it's like, did I really have to say that? I wasn't gonna do it. No, but no, we just get used to running our mouth when we get exhausted and then get tired and it's arguing time. Like Power Rangers, it's arguing time. But I mean that truly can get you in more trouble than the actual physical altercation, which I just find that out at 43 years old. I ain't got time to be bonding out, time for no lawyers and all that, which all I had to do. Court date, sitting on a Zoom meeting, 3, 4 hours waiting on them to tell me what they think about me with my priors. Remember, I didn't graduate because of felonies. That's what happened. And remember, I didn't graduate from high school. I had to get my GED in jail. So they brought all of that up when I went to court. And I was what? We was 17 coming out of high school. 7, 18 when I caught that case. I'm 43. And they brought that up.
Hmm.
Said, yeah, but your bond can't be lowered. You're already a violent fel- felon. So I'm like, that's from 1995. It's 2021. They still held it against.
Wow.
So I mean, yeah, that's why I said I can sit and say I can sit and pick at everything, but me being a black man, a proud father, a man of God, with these variables, I can't carry myself certain way. I have to watch myself, even in domestic disputes. Even if I'm just in Walmart and I tell my kids, "Stop! Or I knock your head off." The wrong person hear me, I'll be locked up. That simple. Prove it in court. Tell it to the lawyer. See, you're not really guilty, but that don't mean you ain't got to let the role play out. That costs money. It costs money to bail out. It costs money to retain a lawyer, especially for a decent one. And I mean, like, now that I'm looking at it, I'm not letting nobody set a narrative for me because of attitudes and moves and miscommunication. That would be my problem. So when entering a relationship, if I know I'm not good at conversating with people or I got a hot temper or whatever it may be about certain subjects, I have to either try to refrain or watch myself. That's just a thing when entering these relationships, we start to develop how we feel about the person more so than who are we as a person. Know your weaknesses, know your trigger. Because what happens when you get in a relationship and it starts to trigger those things or stab at weakness? Then you're gonna have these ups and downs. I don't care who you are. I don't care your status and everything. And then we look for the finger to point when it's right here. Nobody ever said vows within themselves. I vow not to treat myself this way or not to do this, but you go and do it with another person. Marry yourself first. Know who you are first before you give. Because then it may be giving at a fault. You may feel like you're without or you gave someone valuable that they didn't ask for. But that was just you displaying your love when it cost you something. So knowing your worth, that's a strong term. It ain't just knowing you're a decent looking man with a job or a nice looking female that got it. Knowing your worth is really a soulful thing. Know the powers of your love. Know the weak spots. Know where to regenerate from. Where to get gas at when you run out, especially if you can't get it from the person next to you. Don't love them no less for that either because you didn't make them sign on to that. It's like these unsung little things we got that I found through my experience in relationships. It all leads back to me. It is not leading to a fault. They are boxes to check with personal. Like, did I do this? I realized where I failed to even be in a position with a woman that I would have kids with or share any type of love, sex, emotion with, prayers with, or whatever it be. I only can look at me. Before it, nobody likes to do that because usually someone hurts. It's the someone. It's easier to look at them and say they did. But how did you get here? How were you even in a space? What made y'all arrive at that point? Was I comfortable enough to even feel I can talk to a woman like that, regardless of what she did, whether it was right or wrong? What am I talking to my baby mother like that for? Why would we even have to address each other? It's a lack of self-respect. And I would say that first before I can say she's disrespectful or he's disrespectful. No, why would I even be in the area of disrespect if I was carrying respect for self? I wouldn't be there. So I mean, like I had to internalize and then step out of it and look at it from a third eye point of view and get out of my own feelings to, yeah, I'm right. I know it's not about right or wrong. It's about troubleshooting. A computer don't look for right or wrong. It look for what's wrong, what's malfunctioning. It don't look for, okay, this is good. It ain't gonna tell you about what's running good. It's only gonna tell you where it's malfunctioning at. And that's how I have to look at life and people and situations we deal with. If we can't troubleshoot and get out our feelings and see the real problem, then we're never gonna get to the real us. And that's just the thing, I mean, I realized for years I haven't been being the I've been putting love and kids and work and my animals and music, put everything before me. But if I'm always last, how am I doing the best at these efforts? If I'm always putting myself last, how am I doing the best music? How am I doing being the best father I can be? I'm not in my own equation. So I mean, I know we spoke on something earlier, and I mean, I'm like, yeah, I can tell you who did what, but ultimately, I'm going to send it back to whoever's listening. It's you. And don't look at it as a problem or an answer, a pro or con. Look at it as a centerpiece, as somewhere when you are your ultimate high and you're your ultimate low. You set your own standard of morality, of salary, or whatever you want to do, or whatever you want to put out. Relationships end up like that, but the heart just drag you in, and you think everything gonna be all right. I don't know no bad relationship at the beginning. Everybody relationship is fun at the beginning. It's so exciting. We feel like we can do anything, but
Mhm.
that's not true. And then it's also a business. You're talking about a person that you're going to split rent with, medical bill with, especially if y'all, want to grow old to death do us part. This person you might have to put in a home, might have to change their diapers. Do you really look at your mate like that? Do you look at them as a sick person? We all born in sin. We all born to die. We are not getting healthier. We trying to protect our hair. So the thing is, a lot of people don't do that. We see the beauty in our woman. We see the booty in our girl. What if she ain't looking? What if it's he touching the flow by the time she's 7? Do you know the core of that woman? You're just gonna love her for who she is, not how she makes you feel. I mean, so that's just the whole thing. I was loving my whole life based upon what I'm seeing and experiencing. It's been amazing. It's been a amusement park for me. Life ups and downs, the whole roller coaster ride. But I failed to see, yeah, while I'm living, God had a plan for me before I even got to this amusement park. This is just my oohs and ahs. But he's saying, you were born to do this. You can have all the fun you want, but the more you get to know me, the more you're gonna do this. You're gonna be in harmony. You like music, don't you, Duane? Well, I'm harmonize things. I have a plan for you, and you're gonna have to fall in sync. And why me just taking personal for everything I've been through is to show, look, I'm not trying to put nobody in between me and God's conversation because it's harmonious once I fall into play. I will share that harmony with any, but I've been sharing myself, and of course I'm going to get hurt. I haven't even protected myself. So I mean, it's a growth experience in everything we do. I can find fault in anybody's relationship because we sinful. I can find fault in anybody, but it's just like I don't really want to tap into the what's wrong. I want to tap into the how do you get right behind being done wrong, behind treating yourself wrong, or somebody just basically not respecting you. Okay, we can do that all day. I'm sure everybody's been through that. A lot of people don't take self accountability though. We can tell they don't. If you did, you'll have a better credit score. Now you, but I mean, it's what you're putting into your. Are you your best investment? I just started investing in myself. I've been so giving of myself. I spread myself. I thought I was focused, hope, peanut butter. I thought I was thick like that. I thought I could do that. But nah, I wasn't. I wasn't that person I thought I was. And investment, the first investment I'm doing is preservation. Just reserving and knowing when to put out energy, when to expect the vibe back, when to plant seeds for a vibe. Stuff like that. And I mean, it feels. I feel almost as if I don't know anything. Like it's relearning a whole total process. And I feel a little vulnerable, a little fragile at times. It's not that I'm not adult and I don't know what I know, but in these years to come and what I'm trying to do with friends and family, everything. No, I did everything I thought was it's kind of almost the opposite. I thought I could do this, but it's not me. I've been in my own way. I had to get out of my way and let God work with me. Now I'm finally taking baby steps at 43 years old. Am I ashamed? Is it? It's called. Is it ever too late? Mm-mm, no, it ain't never too old. Or you shouldn't have. It ain't no such thing. You should have been got it. No, you shouldn't. He. When you willing to have that conversation with him and you hear what he got to say, never too late. So I
I'm
mean,
glad you said that.
yeah,
One of the
I had a bunch of stuff. Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off. I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to say on here, but I was just like, you know what? That I can't leave them with that message because it'll be a personal thing. And then see what I'm saying when I'm talking amongst people, I will share my inner, but you ain't got to know my personal details when it reflects back to who you are. At the end of the day, your show made me look at me. So I know I want other, I want that to continue. I want other people to be able to see themselves through through you and whoever you were interviewing. Because I heard the interview and I heard everything, but it made me look at me. And I was expecting to hear entertainment or to critique the show or to critique the conversation. That conversation went internal. And I was like, hey, I don't have any answers. So I meant to call you like, look, I ain't watching your stuff. You got me, you got me feeling up. But no, it's been a blessing to be able to do that. And I mean, certain questions I had for myself, there was no answer. I couldn't get mad. I could, Duane, you don't know. Now you must seek that knowledge. You're gonna have to seek like-minded people. You're gonna have to ask questions. You're gonna have to reach out. I haven't talked to the people. I don't even post on my own Facebook. I got lots of friends. For the people that know me, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know it ain't nothing to get me to convert. I don't have nothing to say publicly. I haven't been doing anything for the public. It's been real intimate. A lot of self work on the family, and trying to raise this crazy animal. You know how that go. But I mean, so I've seen this one way, but when they got on, and I was just like, I'm gonna do how I'm kind of try to display how you make me feel when I talk to you about life. It's renewed, and we're renewing. I just got this thing. You know what
But
I'm saying?
it's
We
good
just
because
breaking it in.
I know I've known, well, you were there a good part of coaching me. Oh, I'm trying not to cry. Coaching me to a better Camila. You would used to tell me that it's gonna be all right. It's a better way. It's This is not you, and you would drill that to me so much that one day the light bulb came on. And this is my point of, yes, it happened. Yes, this happened to you, but yet it comes back into pointing the finger. There's some things that you allowed. There's some things that you took down from and caused you to be in this state of mind, this things that would kept happening, repeating with different ones. And it was like, go back, sit down, go back, get out of this, talk to God, start over, learn those lessons all over again. So when they happen again, because you will see them again. When you see it this time, you know how to conquer it. You don't have to run from it. You don't have to say, well, I'm at this point, enough is enough. When I see it, I don't have to deal with that no more. You can't get me again because I know better. And so this is the conversation that me and you have is, okay, this happened. Now we got to get back to Duane, that yes, the father, yes, the son, yes, all of these things and roles that we play, but it still got to get back to you, which was putting the wisdom out here, music. This is probably one of the moments that I never seen you live, but I would see videos, I would see pictures where you looked the happiest.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were talking about your kids. Now, I know one of the things that I pray for you a lot is to break the generational curse. One thing that broke me down one day when you were talking to me, that your father, you and your son were all in jail. You said together or at one moment?
Well, me and my father was in jail together. We was in the county together. He was coming back from a written prison, trying to get himself out of jail. He was his own prison lawyer. Very smart dude. Very smart dude, but just criminal. I just caught a case. Excuse me, Papa. Nobody want to interview no pit bull. I just caught a case and I was fighting. Now my son recently caught a case. But the thing is, we all were in the same rock in the county, different times, but we've never shared the same room together. My daddy been dead. My son never. He never even had a chance to meet his grandfather. My daddy probably went to jail when I was 3 for bank robbery. So I did know him. He did come and get me when I was remember. I remember. I hated going because he always took me over his girlfriend house. But no, it's just ironic. As a black man, I've never will be able to share a room with my son and my father. But we share the same jail cell.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you see, so I mean that right there should trigger a lot of people thought. How is that even possible? Well, it's very possible in society we live in. So I mean, no, never no dinner, not a box of church's chicken. We ain't shared a blunt. We ain't shared none of that stuff. But we sure enough was locked up on the same rock, old side, Wayne County Jail.
Wow.
So I mean, like it just show you, like, those kind of thoughts. That's the kind of stuff I think about. What's in common that you don't want to say? Hey, everybody point out the good things. I got that shirt. Yeah, that's a nice shirt. Nobody want to point that out in common. That some of us only see. I mean, with music, another thing too, with stepping back. Some people have never seen me sober, ever.
They
Every
never
time I
see
went
you
to
what?
sober,
Wow.
yeah, they were either always crowd out in the crowds or other musicians when we was at the studio. We smoking, we drinking. They know that version of me. They've never seen me sober. Why would they be in my personal life? They were music friends. Am I proud of that? No. Did I make a bad impression on them? No. But they never seen me sober. We've never ate together. We did a lot of smoking, drinking, cussing, and cheering. And they'd say, yeah, he's a damn good person. And I'd say the same about them. But I really don't know them. They really don't know me. I mean, there was a lot of, that's what I'm saying about intimacy. And even on the internet, it's a lot. We give so much of ourselves. You swear you know somebody and you won't. But then you can put so much out there. You say, you should know me by now. And they don't. So it works both ways. I hadn't, I've been, I always been talkative. I ain't one with, I keep somebody else's secret, but when it come to mine, I don't care what y'all know or find out. Who gonna do something, right? So I mean, like at the end of the day, I didn't live like that intimate life. I didn't really try and preserve nothing for myself. So pulling off the internet and only sharing times to where it was entertainment, I realized I didn't know how to keep a moment to myself. I would tell you whatever you need to know, even if I know you're gonna be pissed. You shouldn't have asked. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But no, I mean the intimacy is basically how you build a core communication, and then the decor, the thing, what we gonna do today, how we gonna do it, how we gonna go, all of that's gonna change. Especially if we talking a long term relationship, whether it's a friendship or with a spouse. Just you don't do the same things you did with your homegirls when you was 19. You just don't. You know what I mean? So it's like taking away something to re-offer. I never, if I put it out there, take it. That was my attitude. Here's y'all. I don't, and I looked up and what I needed back from everybody. I'm finna go off left, but I'm gonna even say this. Even with male horn, I left a piece of myself in every woman I was with. So when it came time to collect myself and get myself together, if I don't have relationships or this was just a one night thing or that was just that, I'm scattered about and a bunch of women that don't care about me. Now it's time that I need care or to care about myself, and I can't do it. And I wonder how or why do I feel this way? Look how you spreaded yourself. That's what I'm saying. You can do that as a single person. You can do it in a relationship. It's being cautious and knowing stuff and knowing like I know how I am when I show this type of love. If it's not reciprocated, my feelings going to be hurt. Or if I don't get a gift of equivalent, if you know these things, you might want to tell somebody before you do it because you're going to blame them for something that really ain't their fault. Nobody loves like I do. I'm an individual. God blessed me with that talent of just being me. I don't expect somebody to be the reciprocal of an individual. How do you do that? There, you can't do that. There's no two snowflakes alike. So you're gonna end up on. You're not gonna get everything you give. And if you're a person that's looking for it back, you might want to make a contract. Make a contract. Because I mean, at that now you're talking business. You're not just talking love. So I mean, like I look at that in a lot of angles, even with posting. Y'all don't need to know what's on my mind. Y'all want to know what's in my heart. Look at yourself. My mind gonna change in five. But when we get off this phone, I'm gonna walk this dog, take off these clothes, and, and be on a whole nother page. So you don't want to know what's on my mind. My mind is always going. But what's in my heart is, and I'm trying to live that truth. And the people around me, I'm trying to instill that in them because I know who I deal with. I know your capabilities, and then it's the stuff I don't know that's on top of that. I knew you was this person. I knew you would be in this position. How did I know? Well, how could you even how could you even see me? If you see me in this light, you would have to be under the same light. You know what I mean? So I mean, like I got some. I had to take it away and get right back to old school. Like directly talk to people, call them and not text them, tell them I love them, tell them I thank them. Had to get back in touch with all my older people. COVID came, people got to dropping, and I couldn't do that with just texting. I'm a Michigan Bell baby. I'm used to calling. I mean, like seriously, talk to a person. I was a Jehovah's Witness when I was young. I knock on your door. Hey, how you doing this morning? I'm used to y'all. I'm not used to all this other stuff. And once I started getting back to y'all, then I started to feel myself again. I mean, and for a while, it's just depression. If I wasn't entertaining or felt I ain't had nothing to give, then I don't feel relevant. That's just I guess the artist type thing, or just a person that's a giver because I'm not a taker. Usually, if you don't have nothing to offer, but I didn't realize there was an assembly line of lessons that God had me to work on now, and it's always it's nonstop give and take, give and take. It's a beautiful thing. So it's a little different. I mean, it's just a little different how I look at things, how I look at life and people, and take weight off of us. Put the responsibility there because we do want all of us demand, and we deserve personal attention for who we are. We are God's children. He didn't make no mistake when they're one of us. So even killers deserve personal attention. It's called therapy, but I mean they deserve it. you know. I'm just trying to establish the worth and people overall. I couldn't just say black men, black women, because everybody feel in danger. This COVID can kill anybody of any color, and I'm sure it's took everybody wanted somebody, family member or somebody we know. We all know somebody who not good in these times. So I mean, I'm just trying to focus back on that and instill that back, and especially in our circle. Where we grew up at, where we come from. A lot of people counted us out before we even started, just because where we grew up at. And I mean, I can say, hey, you're doing great, Nick, but then I can call and we can pray. There's a difference in working with a person and just compliment. I'm learning to work actually with the people before hey man, that's hot. Keep it going. That was me. You'll see me commenting on everybody's stuff. Yeah, I'm still that same person. I'm still do that. That's not efficient enough. Not in the 40s. We want to know who real with it and who not. We want to know who's protected by the spirit and who not. We don't want none of those faulty people in our circle. And the only way you can do that is by strengthening self. And maybe you'll reflect what you're putting out. And now that it's time for me to do that, I had to cut some people and some things out. I don't have a choice. It's not because I dislike them or nothing. It's just,
They can't
hey,
go.
yeah. Some other
They
people
become
need this
hindrance.
attention. Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean, I could talk to
one
musicians all day,
one of
but
these things
my
that we talk about a lot is um you mentioned it, like where we came from, um they didn't say too much of you was gonna make it. They thought I was gonna be a statistic. That I
Right.
was gonna be, another person on the block, pregnant, out of wedlock with kids, and this and that. It was so many firsts that came out. You know, school, college,
Mm-hmm.
married, all of these things. And sometimes you fighting unknown demons because of word curses, people talking against you. And
Right.
sometimes you see it, the goodness, the greatness in a person. Even at our age in middle school, I knew that, even with my husband now, even in
Mm-hmm.
the neighborhood that we grew up in, I knew he was gonna make it. He was gonna be one of the ones that's gonna make it. And
Mm-hmm. You
uh,
said that too. You definitely said that.
yeah, and I didn't know that when I finally let the dead thing go, that God was
Mm-hmm.
going to turn it around and give me what I spoke on years ago as my own.
Right.
And
Right.
so, I hold this relationship like this is I have found the key to what did I say? The fountain of youth or something. Is like now I understand and I appreciate what I have now. And it's on a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
Just like our relationship is over the years, we could go 20 years without talking to each other. And when we do talk to each other, it's like I just found my brother again. Like, what's up? Like, it's not like some not dread. So some people I personally keep up with over the years because I want to make sure that you will make it, whatever needs to be. If it's that voice sometimes of wisdom pushing you, um you had the same job, you're still working, you're still taking care of your family. Now it's time for you, to time for uh getting back to loving life, and it not so be so hard. Like, this is something we just gotta do. This is I want you to live,
Right.
but have fun, laughing, and everything is not so serious. Like, get back to your first love. And so now these things are lessons to be learned. So when we go forward, when we see these things, like you said, trying to peak up again, whatever, okay, what has gotten off course, and get back to, look, don't lean to your understanding. God, help me. I'm not in a place now where I don't ask for help. I'm going to ask for help, because before, when the enemy has you isolated and you feel like you on the island all by yourself, that's when he pounced on you the most. I ain't trying to be on the island no more.
Mm-hmm.
So when it started getting bad, something ain't right, something off, I'm asking God, what happened? Where are you? I need your help, because I'm not going back to where I used to be. I can't. And so this
Mm-hmm.
is the moments where I'm going to make sure that all my friends, from wherever you ever met me, I still have friends from my elementary school, whatever level, my Chelsea area, I don't care. I want everybody to win. It's
Mm-hmm.
called self reflection. You have to go moments sometimes where you stop and evaluate yourself. Nobody has to tell you. You
Right.
know. And so sometimes for you, it might take a jail moment. I hope that never happens again.
Right. Amen.
It might take a moment where you
Tired of
get
jail.
smacked upside the head, like,
Tired of that.
you too old for that.
Yeah, it ain't no age. I'm too godly for that. That ain't what's up.
No, it is not, sir. No. And on top of that, now that you too old for this, you too smart for that.
Yeah, and I actually ain't, thug. Like that's what I said. I mean, it get to that way. I mean, the devil know if he know I ain't out here with these and these. Then he started you. Yeah, you locked up for your time. You can be locked up for crossing the street the wrong way in front of the wrong officer. He know. He know how to use the blackness against you. And I mean, that's just the thing of being aware that not only are people and things against you, they are spiritual entities at the same time fighting against you just as well. So I mean,
I lost
it's
one friend, um, and it we talk about this all the time. David, he
mm-hmm.
was not supposed
Rest
to
in
die.
peace.
He was not, not
No,
ever. He was not.
no.
He had too much going for himself, and sometimes, the village got to stay the village. Like, he was one I took personal, and in my pocket to this day. That was somebody that was supposed to be a well-known house name,
Mm-hmm.
well-known house name. He was not supposed to be caught up in the things that he were caught up in and end up getting murdered. And so you, I said, was another person that I had to make sure that my friend David Irvin would not happen to none of my friends again.
Amen.
So I keep up with you.
I appreciate you. I mean,
And
of
our
course,
birthdays is not too far from each other. So
right. Shout out to your parents too, man. Coming up, a lot of us didn't have the mom, dad in house, and then you got real parents. You know? And they real parents. So shout out to them for having you and everything you got going on. Shout out to the hub. Shout out to you just, being an example and not you put yourself out there as far as on this podcast and to me what you was going through with your last situation. And I mean, you didn't realize you may have been in your deepest moment of pain, but that was strength to me. And it mirrored me, made me look at myself and my, situation and like, yo, I can do better when it comes to loving me and, and better my surroundings. So I appreciate that.
it takes sometimes, as I tell everybody, if you knew me before, I know I don't look nothing like what I've been through. And it was some things I did not like. I didn't like seeing myself in mirrors, any of that. And now it's, I wake up to, baby, you beautiful. I love you. I can't count how many times I hear I love you in a day. And this is my norm. I hear I love you, queen. You're beautiful. This is countless times, and I don't take it for granted, and I don't take. But this is what reaffirms me every day. Um, and it sometimes takes somebody to put the mirror in your face and say, whatever you thought of your own self is not the truth. And so I had to make sure that now is a modeling thing coming up. I think it's August 13th. I'll put a post out there. I'm gonna do this. Even if they don't choose me, I'm gonna do it for me. That I
Amen.
came out here and I strutted, did something different, to say I did it. And this is where I am with you. Just to say you did it. You beat your case. You came out and you moved away. You did what was necessary to make sure you didn't keep repeating the same cycle. Um And now I'm just waiting for you to get back into the studio. That that
Well, that's
that writing
definitely
pen.
that's already in the works. I'm actually not in a rush. You're gonna have to sing some. I gotta think of something good. I want something real strengthening, something powerful. Definitely with a message when I'm dealing with you. Of course, I'm gonna still talk my little hood yada here and there, but I mean, I can't say the same thing as I said on my album 10 years ago, because I'm not in that same space. I'm not a young cat, and I mean, it's a responsibility to my personal listeners. Since I don't give you, I don't post the pictures and all that. I want them to be able to hear the growth. So I mean, it's gonna be a slight message, just same energy, same time, same wit, same humor, same love and passion. But I got something to say this time, man. Certain things got to develop within me, and relationships with certain people has to pull a little tighter because it's gonna have a little bit of what we call, our testimony, our gospel. I want to hear some rejoicing. I just don't want to hear no rap stuff out of me. I personally don't want to. So it's gonna have to go up to another level. So something is coming. I'm not rushing it though. I'm actually right now for the first time in my life, I'm taking my time and getting to know me and being my own best friend. And I'm a weird little guy. Y'all probably know better than me because I never tried to be my own best friend. But the relationship with me is taking it's taking some time. Some days I don't know this little man. I'll be like, why don't you go? You know what I mean? But that's just accepting love from self.
Yeah.
I just got in a mode of even complimenting myself, saying, "Hey, Duane, thank you for caring. Thank you for waking up and doing what you got to do. I didn't do that with me. I do it to everybody else, but not with myself.
And that's
So
good.
it feels
Self
a little
self
weird. It
reflection
feels
is
strange.
is is very healing. I did something different. I would go to the store and I was like, I'm gonna buy this, meaning makeup, and I'm gonna play in it.
Okay.
Something I normally don't do. And so I do my own makeup, and somebody might like it and somebody don't. Guess what? I like it. It's something
You
different
like
for
it,
me.
you have fun doing it.
I have fun doing it. I never
Man,
profess to say that I'm a makeup artist, not at all. But however, this is a growth for me in a different area that I was very sensitive to. This is my whole point of why it's okay to find you. Sometimes in the middle of the storm, right there in the middle, we think it's the loudest, it's the craziest thing going on, but it's calmness. When you eventually put your hands up and like I surrender,
hmm
and then God just like shield you from everything, and then the storm goes away, and it's like now you walking out in peace. I protect my peace more than anything because I know what it feels like to not have it. So I
amen.
protect it at all costs.
Amen.
If you bring in
Amen.
drama, trauma, any of those things that even look like something that's about to jump off, I don't want no parts. I'm disconnecting, cut, real quick. No. So again, I have truly enjoyed our conversation like I always do. That um it's time to keep up, it's time to encourage, it's time to really be about yourself. Your first ministry is home.
Right.
If
Right.
that home means that little black dog that's right there on the window acting crazy, if that means your kids or you getting back into your first love, which is writing, saying the message, people are going to support because it is you. They know your truth, they know that you're real. This is where I'm praying for Duane Childress, that he gets back to being Duane.
I appreciate it. Definitely in the making. I hope to be that and whatever God has in store for me. And exactly what y'all seen and more. But I can't say now when I'm working on it before me, I run around actually hands on. all the work is being done in here. There's a lot of healing. I mean, I know it's points and stuff we wanted to talk about that we may have missed, but you know all the things I'm healing from, and some of it didn't hit the fan until 40 plus. So it's never too late to heal. It's never too late to get to know self and rebuild and restructure. So I'm kind of going through that process, and I'm glad to have you. Glad to see people I know doing stuff like this because it's motivation, and not only that, it's fulfilling in the heart to say, "Hey, I that was an honor roll student, and that didn't happen for no reason. You that same student, and we still
I
learning
was such
together."
a
And
nerd.
now
Oh my gosh.
you said who?
I was such a nerd.
We all was nerds. We just was bad kids. That's what made us look less nerdy. We
Oh,
all was nerds. Oh man, realize half of the males in the honors class all got felonies.
yeah. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the hood honors class, boy. That's terrible. And we was the honors class, so that just let you
Honors
know the devil.
class and all y'all didn't got in trouble with the law.
Yeah, the devil been busy. You don't want to. Everybody talk about the white man. No, the devil don't want to see you be successful. That mean you ain't here. He had plans for us too, and some of us help him fulfill it. I'm trying to get up out of that. His work ain't he don't pay me right. I can't feed
Yeah,
my kids with what he paid me off of, so to speak. You know what I mean? They can't eat that.
yeah,
So I mean, I need a whole nother source of income. I'm on a narrow road. I'm walking it. I got a bad back and a messed up leg, and I'm still going, so to speak. And that's just where I'm going to be at. And I'm glad that you're on this path. And thank you for helping me get back towards that. I really appreciate it.
yeah. I think when I seen you um from the accident, and I was just like, I was like breathless for a minute, and just the fact that near death, like death wanted you,
Yeah, yeah.
and now
Satan
to
been on my
see
heels for a minute. He been
you
on my heels for a
uh,
minute, man.
continue to rehab and continue to do what you need to do, that's how I know you're gonna make it. And if I had anything to do with it, I'm definitely gonna make sure. Listen here. I don't know what voice you listening to, but you let
Right,
you see his face.
right. I know. You said what?
I said, you see this face and these hands.
Yeah, right. I know that's right.
I'm still taller than you.
Everybody is. I mean, that ain't nothing. That's why I ain't scared of no. I want all the smoke. You know what I mean? I ain't got no choice. That Napoleon in me. Nah, I'm talking that. Boy, get off the car.
So anyway, I'm gonna let you get back to your dog. So I'm assuming he want
Yeah,
all your
I
attention.
got some dog. Well, I'm gonna take him out to Clinton Park today. I'll be getting at you. Thank you for your time. Hope everything went well to your liking. Thank you for allowing me to be in a good space and sharing that. And definitely, we got some plans. I'm gonna send you some music. Please keep doing what you're doing. Love what you're doing. Congratulations. Some of that stuff is in the works for you. Don't tell everybody yet. You know what I mean? But you got some stuff cooking. So thanks, appreciate it. And this ain't this our every day, so it won't be the last to me.
Absolutely. I thank you again for taking the time out on this Saturday to share our normal conversation, our love for one another, to make sure that the ones from the hood that they thought wasn't gonna be nothing, what they thought wasn't
Hmm.
gonna happen, they
Hmm.
gonna eat them words. And so,
Yep.
and we not doing this out of our own. This is definitely all God. And even in
Nope.
the situations and the moments where we should have been dead, God had another plan. So just
Amen.
everybody just stay tuned, because you're gonna hear his name again. You're gonna hear my name again. And it's all because of God. That nothing of us doing it ourselves. This is him and us surrendering and saying, God, continue to cleanse us up. Continue to take out the bad stuff, take out stuff that, we trying to do our own thing. No, I surrender everything to him, and I'm just a willing vessel. My name doesn't matter. I'm just being a servant of God, and that's it.
Amen.
So thank you again, Mr. Childress.
Thank
Um,
you.
and enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I will talk to you soon, sir.
All right. God bless you. Have a good one. Thanks again.
See ya.
All right.